Okay, so I welcome you all for this today's lecture. We are going to look the next point from the chapter first unit, right? But before again, I wish to recall you. We are looking for object-oriented programming with C++, because we know there are multiple examples or the languages which can be implemented, which are implementing this object-oriented programming features. So we are dealing here with C++ as one of the object-oriented programming language. In the last lecture, we have started our discussion with a review of object-oriented programming. Today we are going to look, we'll also revise it, some of the remaining points, and then we'll start with the remaining points from this chapter. Okay, so I will move to next. See, on the screen, we were in the last lecture, right? So if you have gone through this, this may be like a review or the principle of object-oriented programming. As like basic methods or the functions in C program, here we are everything included in the class. And to access those members are the variables. Members, class मधले members असतील, functions असतील, methods असतील, members in the sense variables. Okay, these are we called it as a members of the class. We have function, methods, then variables in the class, and to access those methods or the variables or the functions from the class, here we are creating the object. Remember this part. Okay, now what is object? Object is any real-time entity which represent the class, which represent the members or like the methods from the class. Also, we have gone through the encapsulation. When we talked about this encapsulation, so this encapsulation is nothing but your data hiding part. Now we are going to look for this remaining three OOPS concept: abstraction, polymorphism, and inheritance. Before going to look for this, what is abstraction, what is polymorphism, what is inheritance? So can you tell me what do you understand by the word abstraction? Anyone? Abstraction म्हणजे काय असू शकेल? Anything in your mind? For that we will call it as a, this is abstraction. Yes, anything? Don't worry about right or wrong. We will discuss it. By the time, does anyone knows about what is abstraction? Anyone? Yes, I'm not audible to you. Am I audible? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hides unnecessary information.
Can you repeat it again?
Hides unnecessary information.
Okay, you are very close to it. If you go through the meaning of this word abstraction, that means to hide something. Okay, not completely, but something. Now, in our programming case, the information which is not necessary, that we are going to hide it from the users. Now, can you give any example, any runtime example where you use this abstraction or where you find the abstraction? Okay, I will give you one. How many of you knows about car? कार किती जणांना माहिती? Okay, now how abstraction is there in the car. See, everyone knows about, like, if you click on the accelerator, accelerator, it accelerates and it moves fastly, correct? बरोबर का? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Right. But do you know what is the mechanism is happening when you accelerate the car? And does it require to known to you? म्हणजे ती कार ऍक्सिलरेटर वरती प्रेस केल्यानंतर तिथे ऍक्सिलरेटर जास्त होतं आणि कार इज मुव्हिंग फास्टली, करेक्ट? like as a ordinary user, ordinary like the bike owner or the car owner, I should know only this much. Does it happens every time, like I get to know like how this accelerator works, from where the pressure is created, from where the fuel is passed to the motor or the engine? Does it really require to know when a particular, let's say, a person wish to buy a car? एखादी कार जर घ्यायची असेल तर त्या पर्सनला हे गोष्टी माहित असणं गरजेचं आहे का, की त्याचं फ्युएल कसं ट्रान्समिट होतंय, किंवा ब्रेक ज्यावेळेस तुम्ही ऍक्सिलेटर प्रेस करतात की त्याच्यानंतर कुठल्या कुठल्या प्रोसेसेस होतात? No, because it is not necessary for the user or the car owner to get to know what it should know, what he should know. Only thing, when I press the accelerator, it increases or it get a pickup, right? So this is what a part or the example of this abstraction. Okay, that means to hide the unnecessary things from the user. Okay, and show display, or you can say the display only the required thing. Okay, now I will take one more example from our program. Let's say you are writing first line as a preprocessor directive hash include stdio.h. Okay, so like the first line of programmer, or when you are learning the program, it is the very basic or it is very first line that you are going to write when you are writing a program, that is calling the preprocessor directive. Now what it indicates? Hash include and the header file. Now once you include that header file, and when you goes to the next, you will write some function name, the main method name, and then you are going to use some like a print statement to display something or to get the value from the user, scanf function. Okay, but have you ever checked the syntax or like the content of stdio.h header file? आतापर्यंत तुम्ही भरपूर प्रोग्राम केले असतील, बरोबर? पण तुम्ही कधी पूर्ण म्हणजे त्याच्यामध्ये कुठले रिझर्व्ड कीवर्ड्स आहेत, or how many reserved keywords are there, or how many methods or inbuilt functions are there in the stdio.h header file? Have you ever gone through it? तुम्ही आतापर्यंत कधी गेलेत का त्याच्यामधून? Yes, anyone? Anyone?
No, sir.
Okay, so this is what the basic example of abstraction. Unless and until the user required, the data will not be provided to the user. This we called it as an abstraction, to hide something, right? Or you can say unnecessary, because for that case I came to know only this printf and scanf is there in the definition of this printf and scanf function is written there in the stdio.h header file. But apart from this, what are others the inbuilt functions are there in the stdio.h header file. Unless and until I'm in need of some function, let's say get ch. So I will not go through it. Correct. So this is what the part of abstraction. Now I will go to next part, that is polymorphism. आता polymorphism म्हणजेच काय? Can anybody tell me? Just go through it. Polymorphism. This word maybe you have learned somewhere in the 12th science biology. Oh, we are from the engineering background. That must it may happens like you may have only mathematics specialization. You may not be having the biology as a second group, right? But can someone tell me what is the meaning of this polymorphism? Yes, anyone? Anyone?
Two or more forms.
Correct. Not necessary to multiple forms, right? Now, here in the object-oriented concept, what we are going to look for are functions or methods or the operators which will be having the multiple forms. Okay, just a minute. Okay, now this polymorphism, I will move to next line to represent you in a graphical way. See, for C++ programming language, this polymorphism is divided into two parts. One is compile time and other is a runtime. Runtime polymorphism and compile time polymorphism. Now, how this polymorphism, that means multiple forms, are appeared here in the programming language. See, for that we have two more concepts: function overloading, operator overloading. Okay, that we will consider only. This virtual function is one of the type where we will find the runtime polymorphism. Okay, now in the functional overloading, if you look at here at the screen part, okay, the function overloading. आता फंक्शनलाच काय म्हणणार आहेत आपण? पॉलिमॉर्फिझम. म्हणजेच ओव्हरलोडिंग मीनिंग सांगताय कोणी? See, there are, if you have gone through the concept, overload or overwriting. Overwriting माहिती तुम्हाला? Hello.
No, sir.
ओके, आपण ओव्हरराईट केले असं कधी म्हणतो? Okay, I will go to document. Okay, is screen visible to all?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See. Just a minute, it takes a time. Okay, now this is something the already created document. Okay, I will make one copy of it. I will go and I will store here on the desktop. Let's say as here is the name BDA. I will show it as BDA. Okay, big data analytics, the full form is. Okay, I'm going to save here. Okay, now if you check, the subject name our file name is appeared here, BDA. If you check here in the red color. Okay. Now, okay, I'm going to see. I'm going to add something here. Hello. C++, let's say simple. And here, if I click on the save button, the file gets saved. And if I close it, and I will find it here, the copy BDA. I'm going to open it again. Okay, you will find the updated part. Okay, now check here again. See, now the file is again, I have opened the previous file again. Here you will find the URL, something is there, and the box. And if you go through this BDA file, okay, what you will find, URL, box, and here we have written as hello C. Okay, I will increase the font now. Okay, so that it will be easily observed to you. Okay, so I have closed now BDF file. See, check here. The name of this file, this document is new Microsoft Word document. Okay, is it visible to you? Or you can zoom the mobile screen. तुम्ही मोबाईलची स्क्रीन झूम करून सुद्धा बघू शकता, because I'm not able to make it zoom this part, the header of this file. Okay, is it visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and what are the contents? It has only the URL, it has one box, and nothing is there, right? Now, when I try to save the file with same name BDA, okay, then I try to save this file name again. So it asks me, okay, as this is the latest version of Microsoft Office, so it asks me whether you wish to replace करायचं म्हणजेच काय करतोय आपण, overwrite. Now when I click on OK, okay, then I'm going to close it here, and again I will go to this file BDA. Okay, you will find only the URL and this the box, the hello C++ is erased. Overwrite करतो म्हणजे काय करतोय की जी लेटेस्ट कॉपी असेल तुमच्या डॉक्युमेंटची, इट इज गोइंग टू बी मेड अवेलेबल अँड ऑल प्रिव्हियस व्हर्जन्स आर गोइंग टू बी इरेस्ड. ओके, म्हणजेच काय की ओव्हर राईट करतोय, ओव्हरलोड करतोय म्हणजेच काय की वी आर गोइंग टू कीप द प्रिव्हियस कॉपी ॲज वेल ॲज द लेटेस्ट कॉपी, द लेटेस्ट चेंजेस. ओके, आता हे दोन पार्ट झाले. ओके, हॅव यू अंडरस्टूड दिस?
Yes, sir.
ओके, आता इथे काय करतोय आपण, फंक्शन मध्ये ओव्हरलोड करतोय. म्हणजेच काय की एक फंक्शन हे आपण मल्टिपल वेनी यूज करतोय. सो कॅन यू टेल मी व्हॉट आर द डिफरंट टाइप्स ऑफ फंक्शन्स? यू नो कुठल्या टाइपचे फंक्शन्स असतात? वी हॅव सीन दिस इन द रिव्हिजन पार्ट. देर आर बेसिकली 4 डिफरंट टाइप्स ऑफ फंक्शन्स. सो व्हॉट आर दोज? Okay, I will write it one. Return type, yes, and return type and arguments. Okay, arguments, this is one type. Second, a function which is having the return type but not with arguments. Okay, this is second type. Now third is not returning the function will not return something and it is it has some arguments. Okay, and the fourth one is no return, no arguments. Okay, if you check any of the function, it will fall under any of this category. First one is return type. That means, let's say you may have seen the basic example of main function. Void is what a return type, but it doesn't returns anything. So it will come under this category. No return, no arguments. Mostly you may have find this as void main and open and close brackets, right? And here the body of this your main function. Void is what a return type which will not return anything. Main is the name of your function, and this open and close curly bracket, it indicates the arguments. As it is a blank, so it will fall under this fourth category. If I write here instead of void, let's say integer is having this return. When you have mentioned your function name main as an integer, the body of this, it has to contain the return statement. Okay. Okay, I will take it to next slide. Okay, now whether it is visible to you? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes. See, if I write here void, I will explain it again. Void, if I write a data type or return type of a function as void, so it will be considered in these two cases. The function will not return anything, but it may be having the arguments or no arguments. Now, if you take this example, it will consider under this no arguments. And let's say I'm having one example here, void addition, and here let's say I'm having two variables int a comma int b. Okay, that means it will consider under now not return the function as it is having the return type as void, so it will be come under not return but having the arguments. So what are those arguments? It has one argument of variable a having type value of this a variable will be of type integer, and I am having second argument as b, which is of type again integer. Okay, now it will not return anything because I have used the type void. Now for this example, if you have other than void data type, sorry, return type, let's say basic example again integer. So for that integer, other than void, if I have mentioned my function with any of other return type, so it will be considered under these two part, return type and arguments, return type and no arguments. Now if you check this example, now I need to write it here, return statement. Okay, return, and based on the calculation it will return either variable or the the string. Okay, based on the calculation. Now here I'm having arguments. If you check this example, in this example you will find a return type, function is with return type and with arguments. Now if you go to the second type of this function, return type but no argument, that means this way. Okay, return type. Now as this is a blank open and close round brackets, so it indicates there are no arguments for this function add, but as it has a return type, so I need to write it here, the return. Okay, okay, so Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is screen visible to you?
No, sir.
Okay,
No, sir.
got disconnected. Okay, now is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So function overloading means what? Now here you may write a function. I will go to here again, the example. Let's say I'm having one function here, add. We'll go with a basic without return statement, void add. Okay, and the body includes something here. This is my first function. I'm going to write the same function again here. But now here, instead of this blank, I'm going to provide some parameters, integer a, comma, integer b. Okay. In the C programming language, this facility is not available to you. Like if you have used one, the name of function, you are not allowed to use that name of function again, right? But here I can use, let's say here I'm having the add function without arguments. Here I'm having the same function with arguments. Now this C++ compiler, it distinguish between these two different functions because it don't have any parameters, it has the parameters, or you can say the arguments. Parameters plus arguments पण म्हणतात. So these are what alternative words to each other, parameterized or arguments. Okay, so this facility is provided with function overloading. Now what about this operator overloading? हे एक एक्झाम्पल झालं फंक्शन ओव्हरलोडिंगचं. सेम एक्झाम्पल operator overloading साठी. First, can you tell me what are the different operators are there? So we have unary operators and binary operators. आता याच्यामध्ये unary operators कशाला म्हणायचे कोणी सांगू शकेल? Yes, does anyone knows? See, we have learned this in C programming. Unary operators, and we have one more, binary operators. Okay, these are the two different operators, unary and binary. Example, unary operators आणि binary operators. You can give me example of this binary operator.
0 and
Yes.
0 and 1.
No. See, 0 and 1. These are the values related to
addition.
Yes, addition is there one example, but zeros and 1 are the values of Boolean, right? When we say the Boolean variables, so at that time either it will give the 0 value or 1 value. Again, one if you have checked the logical operators, okay, it will come under this binary operators. Maybe you might have find out like this way, double and then this or. Okay, this is what logical operators, logical and this is what logical or operators. And if you check, it will come under this binary. आता बायनरी ऑपरेटर कधी म्हणायचं आणि युनरी ऑपरेटर कधी म्हणायचं हा आपला क्वेश्चन आता. जर ज्या ऑपरेटरला if the operator requires only one operand, we will call it as a unary operand, unary operators. आता second definition binary operator साठी, if the operator requires minimum 2 operands, we will call it as a binary operators. Take example here, this logical AND, it requires something on its left hand side, let's say A greater than B, and here it may be having like B greater than C, let's say. म्हणजेच काय झालंय की हा ऑपरेटर जो आहे आपला, हा कुठला लॉजिकल अँड ऑपरेटर. टू सॅटिस्फाय दिस कंडिशन, this operator, I need to write something on its left hand side like this way, and I need to write something here on the right hand side. In this case, this operator is called it as a binary operators. ओके, या ऑपरेटर्सला काय म्हणतात, बायनरी ऑपरेटर. आणि ज्या केसमध्ये फक्त तुम्हाला लाईक निगेशन, ओके, निगेशनचा सिम्बॉल इफ यू नो,
Exclamatory mark.
no, this is not equal to. Okay, I will check here. Equal to and exclamatory mark, it indicates you, yes, it indicates you not equal to. आणि हा जो सिम्बॉल आहे इथे मी ऍड केलाय, this is what negation. Maybe you have gone through this negation in digital technique or something in circuit part. Okay, negation म्हणजेच काय असतंय की तो सोडून, म्हणजे if I write 2 not 2, that means if I write here this is what 2, and if I wish to use not 2, I will write here this operator and 2, that means except 2 is required. So such symbols, that means it requires only one operator, एकच सॉरी ऑपरंड. सो या केसमध्ये काय म्हणतात, या सिम्बॉल्सला किंवा ऑपरेटर्सला युनरी ऑपरेटर्स. आणि ज्या ऑपरेटरसाठी हे लेफ्ट हँड साइड आणि राईट हँड साइड बोथ साइडला काय असतात, ऑपरंड्स असतात, त्याला काय म्हणतात, बायनरी ऑपरेटर्स. सो देर आर मल्टिपल एक्झाम्पल्स लाईक दिस आय एक्सप्लेन हिअर. लॉजिकल अँड, दिस इज लॉजिकल ऑर. आता लॉजिकल अँड मध्ये कंडिशन काय असते, इफ this condition is true, first condition on left hand side is true and right hand side is true, then it will write yes 1. म्हणजेच काय झाली, कंडिशन ट्रू झाली. if anything either from this left hand side or this right hand side, if any of the condition is false, एक तर लेफ्ट हँड साइड किंवा राईट हँड साइड, ह्या दोन्ही कंडिशन पैकी, ह्या दोन्ही ऑपरंट पैकी एक जर ऑपरंट फॉल्स असेल, I will get the result as 0. Okay, so you should know this. The result of these operators are always in the forms of zeros and one, true value and the false value. Okay, or साठी कुठली, or साठी स्टेटमेंट काय असेल, if any of the condition is true. जर इथे मी or लिहिला, एक तर ही लेफ्ट हँड साइड, this is the this case is true or this case is true, I will get true value. Okay, I will get true value. If both are the true, then I will get yes false value. Sorry, then I will get also true value. आणि ज्यावेळेस ह्या दोन्ही कंडिशन जर चुकीच्या असतील, then I will get false value. और मध्ये काय आहे की एक्झॅक्ट अपोजिट टू युअर अँड ऑपरेटर. अँड ऑपरेटर्स मध्ये काय आहे की जर दोन पैकी एक जरी कंडिशन फॉल्स असेल, then it will write as a false. What is there in the or? If either of the condition is true, दोघांपैकी एक जरी कंडिशन ट्रू असेल, then it will write it as a true, otherwise it will be the false. Okay, maybe you have gone through the some truth table of it. Okay, so this is what related with now. Now in this case, what we are looking for, operator overloading. Now, maybe you have seen in the string function, this plus sign is used there as concatenating the first operand. Let's say I'm having OP1, that means one string is there, and here is some second string. And if you check, this plus sign here is acting as a concatenation, that means combining two strings. At the same time, you may have like this 2 plus 5. So what it doing here? Now it is not doing, it is not concatenating, म्हणजे हे combine करत नाही हे दोन. इथे काय करतोय 2 plus 5, it is doing the addition. So here it has a different meaning. This plus has a different meaning here in this line. That means as a concatenation operator, and here plus is it has a meaning here as addition, adding these two numbers. Okay, so a function or operator which is acting here as multiple forms. वेगळ्या फॉर्म मध्ये म्हणजेच काय की इथे एकदा ऍडिशनच्या फॉर्म मध्ये ऍक्ट होतोय आणि इथे सेकंड हा कॉन्केटेनेशनच्या स्ट्रिंग कॉन्केटेनेशनच्या फॉर्म मध्ये ऍक्ट होतो. सो याला काय म्हणतात? अ फंक्शन और ऑपरेटर विथ मल्टिपल फॉर्म्स, मल्टिपल फंक्शनलिटीज. ओके, नाउ this is about this polymorphism. And now last one is inheritance. Okay, now can anybody tell me what is inheritance? What do you know about inheritance? Yes, anyone? To inherit something in a simple way. Yes. Okay, I will explain you now. See, if you look at the screen now, here is one class and here is second class. Now this second class is inherited some properties from the class A, or in other words we can call it as class B is a derived class. Inheritance म्हणजेच काय? As like we'll take one example. There is a okay, also we called it as a parent. This class A, instead of base class it called it as a parent, and this derived class is also called it as a child class. Now when we say this is a parent class and this is a child class, so child is possessing some of the properties from the parent, right? I think in the last lecture we have seen one example of blood group. This child must be having the blood group either from the father or the mother. Okay, that means this is one of the property. There are like the body structure and other part. These are different properties, but we are looking only with this to understand the concept of inheritance. Okay, now this is what inheriting, that means having some properties. This class B is possessing some properties of class A, as well as it has its own properties. Now the example, class vehicle, I'm having one class as vehicle. Now class vehicle is having the properties fuel amount, then capacity, then brakes. Fuel amount ही एक property आहे. Capacity, sitting capacity किती आहे vehicle ची, this is second property. आणि brakes. Okay, so this is what the third property of this vehicle class. Now if you check this vehicle, it may be a bus, it may be a car, or it may be a truck. Okay, vehicle म्हणजे काय? एक गाडी. ती एकतर बस असू शकेल, कार असू शकेल किंवा ट्रक असू शकेल. Now this bus is also possessing the fuel amount, here property, capacity, apply brakes. Similarly, here car is also possessing the properties and truck is also possessing the property, but bus has its own property apart from these three. ह्या तीन ज्या properties आहेत, fuel amount, capacity, apply brakes. Other than this, bus is like having extra facility like extra property like whether it is a sleeper bus or like a regular one. The car, it has like AC, non-AC feature. The truck, the number of wheels, it may be differ like so that the truck will be get differ from the car as well as the bus. Okay, म्हणजेच काय की पॅरेंट क्लास मधल्या जे काही प्रॉपर्टीज आहेत हे आपण चाइल्ड क्लासमध्ये किंवा डिराइव्ड क्लासमध्ये सुद्धा यूज करू शकतो, बट इट विल हॅव नॉट ओनली लिमिटेड टू दिस. ह्या चाइल्ड क्लासमध्ये ह्या तीनच असतील असं नाही, इट मे हॅव more than 3, but these 3 can be there as a part of properties. Okay, sorry, here I have mentioned a wrong name. It is inheritance. Okay, so have you understood about inheritance? समजलाय का inheritance? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, see, we are looking this as a theory part. We will having some programs when the unit comes for the implementation. But before this, at least you should know what is the concept inheritance. That means having one features from one class to another class, accessing the properties of one class into the other class. This we call it as an inheritance, and it has different types. This is simple inheritance. We have multi-level inheritance, multiple inheritance. Okay, that we will look into the regular when the unit comes. Okay, have you understood about polymorphism? Polymorphism समजलंय का? A function with multiple forms. In a very short definition, a function with multiple forms, we called it as a polymorphism. समजलंय का concept?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and the abstraction, we have started with this point. Okay, now this is also we called it as a principles, basic principles. If the question asks you in the interviews, tell me what are the basic principles of object oriented programming, or tell me the principle of OOPS. So you should be in position to tell like abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, and the polymorphism are the principles of object oriented programming. Okay, so just now we have discussed all those 4 parts. Now the next point is procedural versus object oriented programming. Okay, so the differentiating points is mentioned here on the screen. It is known as procedural oriented programming language, and this object oriented programming is known with or more familiar with OOP. Here, as in the procedural oriented programming, it deals with the algorithm. That means step-by-step execution of a program. In object oriented, it deals with the objects or the data, which is mentioned here in the program. Now, most of the functions shares the global data in procedural oriented programming language, because due to the like accessibility. So if I wish to have data accessibility throughout all the functions, so I need to mention the data. I need to declare the data at a global section. Now here again, in like it's a top-down approach. That means sequentially it is going to be executed. Now why it called it as a bottom-up approach? See, the code is written, and at the bottom the objects are created with respect to the class. So with this, the sequence, as per the sequence of your object which is called, so based on that sequence, your functions are, or the variable value for the variables or the value for the functions are going to be executed. So it called it as a bottom-up approach. Then the example like C, Fortran for the procedural oriented, and we have C++, Java, .NET considered under this object oriented. Now there are 2 parts. This procedural oriented programming language, we don't have access specifiers. for the methods or the functions, it don't have access specifiers, but here in the object oriented program, it has the access specifier like private, public, or the protected one. Okay, private, that means within that loop only it will be accessible. Public, anyone can have access. Protected, only authenticate should access the data. Okay, and because of this reason, this access specifier, it is considered it as a more secure, and this procedural programming, procedure oriented programming language, they are less secured because they don't have this access specifiers. Just now we have seen overloading, that means which part? Polymorphism. It follows no overloading, that means we don't have this polymorphism concept under procedural oriented programming language, whereas we have this polymorphism concept in the object oriented programming. Okay, we have missed one. Data hiding cannot be accessed by the outside function, as data hiding facility is given here in the encapsulation, right? Or you can say some of the point of abstraction. This facility is not provided here in the procedural oriented, neither encapsulation is provided here in the procedural language. Okay, this is what a basic difference between the procedural and the object oriented programming language. Now the benefits. So when we are using this object oriented programming language, what benefits we are gaining through this? First one is reusability. That means, again I will go back to here. Code reusability. Let's say here I have mentioned the properties of this class vehicle. I need not to be mentioned the properties same again here in the bus. Simply I can have access to those properties in the class, in the derived class. Okay, so this is what we called it as where it is, the reusability of code. So I need not to be mention the same line of code again and again. I can create an object and I can access this code through this object. Okay, the data hiding, unnecessarily I'm not going to display the extra information related to any of the functions or the procedures. Okay, so this part also come under this data hiding. Same function or operators can be used for different purposes. Now this is what the polymorphism. Just now we have seen one example, like the plus operator. In one of the case, it acting as like the concatenating two different strings, and in one case it act as the addition operators for two numbers. Okay, so this facility or benefits we have with OOPS. Then decomposability, as like again we'll go back to here, or when you go to the, when you are like developing some applications. See, for procedural oriented language, one should have like complete from first line to last line. We should go like step by step execution. But here we will come to know, as we are using this the features of like creating different objects, different functions. So at what functions we are facing some problem, that also is able to know with this feature. Okay, डिकम्पोजिशन म्हणजेच काय की एक फंक्शन हे सॉरी एक प्रोग्राम हा मल्टिपल मॉड्यूल्स मध्ये डिवाइड करता येणे. ओके, दिस वी कॉल्ड इट एज अ decomposability facility. एक if we are like dividing a whole program into different modules, that means we are decomposing a complete project into different or multiple modules. Okay, so for that point we called it as a decomposability, and this facility is also having with the OOPS. And security, just now we have discussed here in the differentiation point, it is more secure only because the functions I can made it as a private. If I made it as a private, other functions cannot have access to that the values from this function. Similarly, if I okay, similarly, if I used have public, that means my all the data members or the variables or methods which are written under one class, it can be accessible to outside the class. Okay, so with this access specifier, I came to know whether it is secured or not. Okay, so with this oops, I came to know it's a secured one. Now application where I can use this object oriented programming. I can use this object oriented programming language here to design operating system. OS, that means operating system, for designing databases, any engineering software development part, any medical applications. Applications म्हणजेच काय की softwares, medical related softwares, your embedded systems, built enterprise softwares. Okay, if you check like designing web browsers, gaming applications, designing compilers, or any desktop applications. So all those using this object oriented programming language for its design. Okay, so now let me know if you have any doubt related to any of this. Yes, this is the content for today's session.